So what would you give up to escape the nightmare of abuse? Dorothy Newton shares about her painful journey to freedom and healing. If you're enjoying Table Talk, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Remember to click that notification bell to stay up to date on all of our latest posts. Well, can you imagine living in a nightmare you can't wake up from? Every day you face the threat of violence. You ask yourself, will this be the last day of my life? Many people have this horrifying experience each day. So how do they escape this vicious cycle? Today, with the help of our special guest and my dear friend, you're going to find out. But first, joining me at the table is Joni Lamb. My beautiful daughter in love is here today, along with my daughter, Rachel. How are you?
Doing wonderful. So thankful to be here.
Well, it's good to have you. April Simons.
Hey there.
This is like, you know, something that sometimes we don't hear talked about, domestic violence.
Right.
It's important that we do, though.
It's important, and we see how someone came through it today.
That's right. Rachel Lamb Brown, how are you?
I'm excited because we have one of the ladies at the table that's here today.
One of the ladies of the table
And you think like these
is here to
girls-
tell her story. You know, all of the ladies at the table, I know them very intimately, and they all have stories to tell. But I think the common denominator that we all have is knowing God, and He helped us to walk through whatever we went through. Is that true, Cindy Johnston?
Every time.
Yeah.
Every time, all the time. You can
Yeah.
count on them.
It's true. Cindy Murdoch, how are you?
I'm good. I'm just thinking you may feel trapped in a
Yeah.
relationship, but God
Yeah.
can help
And
you.
you had some emotional abuse in your first marriage.
Yes, and felt very trapped.
Thank you for being here. Well, it's hard to imagine that the strong and confident woman we know today walked through a season of unimaginable abuse, but she has bravely shared her story in her book, Silent Cry, and today she's here to reveal what she endured and how God healed her heart. Our precious dear friend and lady of the table, Dorothy Newton, how are you?
I am doing so good. It's so good to be with everybody.
I know. Usually you're sitting over here.
I actually wanted my seat back.
It's been a while since, a long time really, since we have talked about your book, and I really felt like it was important that we talk once more about it because we have a lot of new viewers.
Yes.
And tell me about, before we get into your story, just writing the book, how did you get the courage to tell your story? Because, I mean, it's not a pretty story.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You know, at first I just started writing. You know, God was just downloading everything, and I felt like I needed to put it on paper. And then next thing you know, it was a book. I mean, it wasn't planned. I thought it was a way to heal.
Yeah.
If I just wrote it all out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, you are married to a very famous NFL football player, which I want to say right here at the beginning, before we tell the story, you have to know that he actually endorsed your book, and God has done a dramatic change in his life.
Yes.
But this is your story.
This is my story.
And he knows that, you know, you're going to share it, but I do want to give that little statement up front. And if he were to happen to watch this, we love you and believe God to do the best in your life moving forward. So take us back to those days when you were dating. Did you see any signs of something that might not be right?
Yes, before, when we were dating.
This is for all the girls right now, those of you that are dating somebody.
I'm so passionate about this.
That you know you shouldn't be in relationship with, but go ahead, pretend like you're talking to them, Dorothy.
Yes, when we were dating, I could see signs. Not in the beginning, of course. I mean, just taking you back to the original story. I had just, you know, finished college. I started a campus ministry in college. I mean, I led so many people to Christ.
You loved God?
I loved God.
You lived a pure
I've known
life?
Him all of my life.
Yeah.
Yes, pure. Like I was a virgin when I met Nate, you know, 26 years old. You know, fun, just had the best time. He had a lot of baggage from his past. I had a lot of baggage. I was an athlete, so Nate was trying to make the Dallas Cowboys team, so we were working out together. We just had a lot of fun.
He played
But-
during the only time the Dallas Cowboys have won in the national
They were America's
championship.
team.
They were back then. So y'all,
Maybe he
y'all-
had something to do
y'all
with
keep
it.
praying for them. Okay, so go ahead.
Yes, 3 Super Bowls, in fact.
Yeah.
And so as time went on, I became pregnant. And as a result of that, I just remember thinking about all the people in college that I led to Christ. And it was just the worst feeling, the worst time, because I felt like I failed and I felt like it was my fault. You know, it's like I'd already messed up, so I didn't want to make it worse by living in sin. And a couple of years later, we got married.
So I don't know if I realized that. So you had Trey,
Yes, yes, had Trey.
and
single
y'all weren't married till
mom.
after he was born.
Right.
Okay.
It took a few. Well, actually, Trey was born in '89, and we married in '92. We had like 14 years together.
What was his response when he found out you were pregnant?
Immediately, he wanted me to have an abortion, and I thought about it. I mean, I had a lot to lose. I thought. I mean, I actually thought about it. I remember going in the park, you know, driving to the abortion clinic, and in the parking lot, and I said, you know what? I already messed up. And this would be even worse. And so I didn't even go in the building.
And that was a personal belief that you
Yes.
had. And
Yeah.
I know Trey today, we have to show a picture of the grandbaby, by the way, long about right now, because Trey married a beautiful girl and they had the first beautiful grandbaby.
Yes,
And she looks just
Natalia.
like you.
Yes, she does. She does. She has all my ways already.
Okay, so you made the decision to keep the
Yes,
baby.
keep
We're
the
not
baby.
we're not judging anybody, by the way. We're just that was something that was near and dear to your heart. You knew that you wanted to keep that baby, regardless of what happened.
Absolutely. And then then there was another threat. If it's not a boy, I'm not going to support you. I'm not going to be with you. You know, so there was just a lot of immense pressure about, the baby. And after I was pregnant, I found out that he had other kids. Not one, but he had 2 other kids from 2 different mamas. You know, I also
This
found
story
out...
just keeps
You had
getting
no
bigger and
idea?
bigger.
I had no idea. I also found out he had a girlfriend who he was supporting in Florida. This is why he wanted me to have an abortion, is because he had, kids already. He had a girlfriend. And so I refused. I'd already had a job. I was educated. I knew I could take care of our son. And so that was the plan. I was not going to have an abortion.
Did you think that he had changed when he proposed?
Yes, that's the only reason why I married him, because remember, I had Trey, and then years later, I married him, only because I could see the change. I mean, Nate was in front of church, talking on the Easter Sunday. Now, I'm not saying he was completely transformed. I'm just telling you, why I married him, because everything seemed perfect. I mean, as perfect as it could be. We married in January of '92, and then the Super Bowl, the Cowboys won the first Super Bowl during that time, and everything changed.
So what kind of things started? Like, I mean, you've got Trey, you're married. He's very successful.
Yes.
Everybody knows who he is. Everybody wants his autograph, et cetera, et
Yes.
cetera. And what were kind of the first little signs? Was it emotional, mental, physical?
Verbal. Yes. If I'd ask him, well, why didn't you come home last night? It was an argument. So everything was verbal.
I know later you told me that the verbal and emotional abuse to you was worse than physical.
Oh, yes, because, the physical, I kept healing after each occurrence. But the verbal and the emotional, it was just childhood
It's like an
trauma.
imprint on your soul.
Yes,
or
and it was
something.
childhood trauma. It's like as a child, that's what I saw all the time. And now as an adult, I was reliving it.
And it's something you didn't want.
No,
You didn't want to have.
no.
Did you ever try to address it with him or defend yourself?
Oh, yes, many, many, many times.
And what did he do? Did it just make it worse?
He would, be in remorse for a while, and then it would happen all over again. And see, during this time of 3 Super Bowl wins, during the 14 years that Nate and I were together, 10 of those years, he made headline news. So whether it was DUI, DWI, sexual assault, so imagine 10 years, headline news nationally, and then, me trying to leave. No, it's like each time something happened, then I had to be more supportive, only for the abuse to become worse and worse, to the point where at first it was verbal, then throwing things, and then it was just hitting me.
Did he just seem to be angry a lot?
All the time. It's like he wanted to live this life being single, but yet being married. Like, he had no problem displaying me in public. Like, he was so proud to call me his wife, like the trophy wife, but behind closed doors, if I questioned anything that he was doing, then it was a beat down.
And you're trying to take care of the kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Did you know he was cheating on you?
Well, the signs were there. I would find things, there was definitely signs that he was. And, there was personal reasons, physical reasons that I experienced where I knew he was.
I noticed in your book you talked about that he would always ask you to pray.
Yes.
That he didn't pray, but he would ask you because obviously he saw in you something very powerful.
Right. Well, from the beginning, he always encouraged my faith. From the beginning. See, when we met, he had just been cut from the Washington Redskins. He was not on the team, but I was that source of strength and encouragement and praying for him that he would make the team, working out with him and
he
all
needed
that.
that.
Yes, and I was encouraging him because I knew Christ, and he wanted a person like me.
Right.
And so as we got to know each other, then I compromised. Like I was no longer available and actively involved in church as I had been because I was supporting his career on Sundays. And so one thing led to another until before you knew it, I was abused constantly.
well, so there was a little season, though, that he got a little better.
Oh, yes.
So
yes.
how did that happen? And then y'all talk about having another baby.
Yes. Well, abusers, that's what happens. It's the cyclical nature of, it happens. He's in remorse. We're good for a while. Then it happens again. It's continuous. But during this time, like I'd always wanted another child. Nate was, once again, it was so good. Our relationship, the things we did, the people we surrounded ourselves with, to encourage, a healthy relationship. It was wonderful. So we planned our second child, which they're 8 years apart.
Oh, wow.
So we planned the second one, and I was pregnant, and it started all over again.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
And here,
it
how long
started-
was that span of time where it was good? Like for a year or something? Or
Probably a few years.
A few years.
Like he was asking me to have another child, although I wanted one, but it was just good. And as Christians, why keep records of wrong? It's like we forgive.
Right.
And so found myself pregnant, and the abuse just got even worse than it was before I
so
was
why do
pregnant.
you think that happened? And did you tell anybody what was going on to reach out for help?
Yes, I was so desperate because it was often, and I just couldn't take it anymore. And I remember, this one person that I confided in. I didn't give her any details. I just said that I need a place to escape to because I'm being abused. And she
Was
went,
this someone within the organization?
No, this is someone, like I was Nate's local agent. Like I did all of his scheduling, endorsements, contracts, I did all that. But this one particular person, a lot of the knowledge that I didn't have, she always was there to help. So she scheduled a lot of appearances as well. And so we became friends over the years, just a trusted confidant. So I told her, and she told someone inside the Cowboys organization. And when Nate came home,
But she probably told him trying to get you help.
she did.
Yeah.
She did. Like the person that she told, he's in Hall of Fame. He didn't even play at the time, And Nate, apparently the coaches or somebody asked Nate about it. Nate came home, and that's when he,
He actually
not
called
only,
you, didn't he?
Oh,
You
yes.
were out. He
Oh,
called you.
yes.
And what did he
called,
say?
He said, "Get home right now."
With a lot
And
of expletives in
Oh,
there.
just cursing. Like, I knew, I could tell in his voice, it was worse than ever before. I knew I was in trouble. In fact, I also knew that it would probably be my last day that I would live.
Now, you were
And
pregnant.
So I was pregnant.
How far along were you?
5 months.
Okay.
5 months. I had a friend I wrote a letter and said, and she promised me that she would take care of our son in case something happened. I mean, it was pretty bad. And so I came home.
Why did you
picked
go
up
home?
Our son. Well, I had to. He knew every move I made. Like, even while driving, he's like, okay, you're 10 minutes away. Okay, he knew everything. I mean, he had so much power and resources at his disposal.
Plus, when you're in that state of mind, you really are a person, I think, that maybe can't think clearly from other victims that I have interviewed.
That's true.
You're not a victim today at all. But I'm just saying, that's what abusers do. They have that kind of control.
Wow,
Yes.
control.
And
Yes.
it is a control, and like, because, those of us sitting here were like, well, turn around and
Yeah, I would've gone to the police
go to the
station.
police or what. But that's because we've never been there
right.
to understand what that kind of trauma does.
And I've been there before where I call the police and nothing happens. I remember this is a 3-time Super Bowl champion.
Right.
I mean, so
That people are in awe of.
Yes,
so you call,
absolutely.
So
That's
you've got
happened
Trey
before.
with you.
So Trey is with me. I got home. I told Trey, stay in the truck. Do not leave out. Stay. And so I
And
went
by this
in.
time, he's like 7 years old.
Yes.
And you're saying,
Yes.
sit in here till I come back. Do not come inside.
Do
'cause
not come inside.
Oh, my goodness,
And
Dorothy,
so
you were
I
probably-
go in, and all of our furniture was custom made, just strong, because Nate was a big man. The first thing he did, he questioned me. Why did you tell somebody? You telling somebody our business? And I said, no, I only asked for help, with somebody. Anyway, he took that marble table and he flipped it. I was sitting down and he flipped the table, and I hurried and scooped back, and the table just grazed my stomach. And so I had all these marks on my stomach. And then after that, he took the gun and shot at me. Now he didn't, he could have shot me, but he purposely just shot the glass behind me. And then later, this is the worst ever. Later, I find out, I'm writing the book, the kids are telling their story, and Trey actually saw everything. He had gotten out of the truck, and he witnessed everything.
Wow.
He witnessed
And when
everything.
it was
he
shot
could have been shot.
When he was shot through the window, he could have.
He
was
could
right
have,
there.
because we had an outdoor barbecue grill, and that's where he was hiding. But all of this is glass. Like, where he shot, everything was glass.
So,
And
what did you do when he shot the gun?
And so when he shot, I was so shocked, because I'd never seen a gun before. Now, there was a lot of abuse, physical abuse, but I'd never seen a gun. And so that really, just him flipping the table was enough. So the gun was a surprise. And so after that, we left. But once again, he tracked me down, threatened that I better come home. At this time, I'm not telling anybody. Nobody knew. Who would believe me, So, I finally, eventually had to come back home. He controlled everything, all the finances, everything.
When you walked out, what did Trey say?
Well, I didn't know that he knew what had happened.
So he was just quiet.
He was quiet, act as though nothing, so I didn't share anything. I didn't have to explain anything, because I did not know he saw everything until years later.
Wow.
And so we left and
By the way,
tried to
Trey
get
is
some
an
help.
amazing young man. He's grown up to be a wonderful man of God, married,
Yes.
just very
Both of them are,
successful.
truly.
So, wow, you did an amazing job with both boys. So, you leave, but then you end up coming back, and like some of you are listening right now, and this is your story, and you understand exactly what she's talking about.
Yes.
For those of us who never experienced anything like that, we can't understand. Cindy, there were times when you wanted to leave, but you didn't feel like you could leave an abusive situation with your husband.
Right, because of the fight over the boys.
Because he told you.
He said I would never get the boys, ever.
And you believed it.
Nobody would believe me, he said.
Because people like us sitting here again, we're saying, well, Cindy, why didn't you just, So don't say that to people.
Because you planted a lot in your mind how to do the escape and how to get away, but then you feel like you'll always be found.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And people in my situation, they'd look at it and say, you had a lot of money. Why would you stay? Why would you stay? You know, it's far bigger than money.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many reasons why women stay. You know, as I mentioned, he made headline news 10 times in the 14 years we were together. I mean, I would be dead had I did anything different than what I did, but I kept trying and kept trying, but I kept going back. And then finally, in agreement, you know, like I had King, and then Nate went away. And then he had to go to training camp, you know, and then his last season was with the North Carolina Panthers. And so that was a change for me because I couldn't go with them because the kids were in school, Trey was in school. And so
Was it
during that time,
was it kind of a relief where you could kind of get your head together?
oh my goodness, that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was. But even before then, let me just say this, is that, you know, during that entire time, I still was, you know, serving others. I mean, people always was drawn to me for encouragement, and that's how I survived, is because I continued to do the work, even though, you know, it was horrible at home. And so that last season, you know, while I was here, I was able to just clear my mind. I soaked in the word even more. And I just begged and pleaded for him to just let me go. And he told me that he would, under certain circumstances, that I use his attorney, that I walk away without anything. You know, there were certain things, and I was in agreement. After his season, I had to wait until after the season. So I just wanted a way out.
You know, it's really important that when you're in that state of mind that you align yourself with some people who can help you and give wise
Yes,
counsel.
yes.
At that point, you're just so desperate, you want out of it.
Yes.
And
I just
so
want
you
out.
did get out of it.
Yes.
And this is the thing about it. Dorothy is so incredibly talented on her own and has been very successful, and God has blessed her. But at that point, as a mother with those two young children, you're probably thinking, how in the world, like what am I gonna do?
Yes, yes. Not as far as succeeding, you know, like I said, I'm smart enough, I could get a job. But the kids, there's so many factors involved because now is, you know, the kids and, you know, what are they thinking? You know, will they end up the same way I, you know, lived, repeating the cycle? You know, so anyway, finally we divorced. And after we divorced, the only thing I walked away with was a commitment. Nate committed that he would pay child support every month, just so that I can get a job. And so, I mean, not even a year after we were divorced, he was taking me to court because he wanted joint custody because he did not want to pay child support. I was just asking for $2,000. And so so we were going to court. So the money I did have, I was spending it all on court, but God intervened. I mean, the court was crazy because the judge was finally said that I had to let the kids go and spend time with them. And I mean, I was crying and begging and pleading and saying, you know, he's a different man. It's even worse. Please don't let him go. Nate had moved to Georgia. The judge finally said, okay, Miss Newton, you will have to let the kids be with their father. So choose which holiday. And so, you know, it was Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and I said New Year's. I just wanted to further this holiday. And sure enough, he was arrested one time, and then I don't know, a month, 2 months later, I can't remember, he was arrested again. And so the kids never had to go. And then he was in prison 3 years. And so there was no
God
time.
protected you. That's what the thing that stands
Yes,
out to me is
yes.
that when it's not that we want bad things to happen to him,
Right.
but you know, you were praying and trusting God for just to live every day, to raise those boys in a godly home and and continue to go to church and serve, all the stuff that I know that you continue to do while you worked a full-time job. And God had your back.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I mean, I got a good job, really good job. The kids were actively involved in church. Truly, we were living our best lives. I mean, the kids were phenomenal students.
And you were really
athletes.
focusing on the kids at this point.
That was my focus. You know, because no one knew my story. I suffered in silence. You know, I would watch Pastor Marcus and you know, it's like whenever he cried about something, it gave me permission to cry, you know what I mean, about my own story. Watching Christian television and you know, taking care of the boys. That's what I did. And there was a time when, you know, I was stuck. And God said, okay, it's time. It's time to uncover it all so that I can heal all the broken pieces of your heart. And got qualified Christian counseling. And that took a while, but
By the way, Christian counseling is a great thing. God uses men and women of God that are anointed to counsel. And like you said, there are people who are stuck.
Yes.
And God has anointed them to help take you on that journey.
Yes.
And so that was really when it all came up, and it all needs to come up, by the way. I mean, we need to shine the light on that darkness, and so God can put the pieces of your heart back together.
Yes, and one of the worst experience was, I remember I wanted to end my life. I looked at the kids and I said, you know what, if I take my life, you know, because Nate was not a Christian, who would teach the kids to love God with all their heart, mind, and soul? If I take my life, then I won't be there to teach them how amazing God is, and that how life can change no matter what you've been through. And I say that because I think people who are abused, it's bigger than themselves.
You know, Dorothy, I just was with someone out of town, and that was her story. It was, she had 2 kids, she was abused, and she did not know what to do. She wanted to end her life, but she's talked about her boys. Just what you said. So it's real, and the good news is they can come through it. And your story is such a living example of how you made it through. That there, you know, the hope of Jesus Christ is on the other side. But you just said exactly what a lady just said to me, who was so discouraged and just at the end of a rope.
Yes, yes.
I'm sure your boys are happy too that you decided to stick around.
No, they are. You know, I made a lot of sacrifices.
She's a
and that's
good
the
cook,
thing.
by the way. If you want to go to her house, she makes the
I want to
best
come over for dinner.
food ever. They come over, they tell her what to cook. It's amazing. Well, we're out of time. I want you to know today that if you're facing abuse, that it is not God's plan for your life. And just said that. It's not his plan for your life. His word says that what he wants you to have is a hope and a future. That's my favorite scripture, Jeremiah 29:11. Go write it down, put it on the mirror. But please don't think that you have to stay in this abusive situation. If you need help, there's the National Domestic Violence Hotline. The number is 1-800-799-7233. And if you're watching today and maybe you need courage to leave, or perhaps you've left and now you need God to heal your heart, or you need help, just like Dorothy, that's why that toll-free number is on the screen. We have prayer partners that would love to pray with you, encourage you. I want to thank Dorothy for her courage today, for sharing her story with you and with us. We really just barely scratched the surface, and the book has so many more details. So be sure to pick up a copy of Silent Cry. And to find out more, you can visit her online at DorothyNewton.com. She is an amazing lady. She's healed, and that's what God did, and that's what God does. He takes the broken pieces of our life, he puts them back together again. He is the master potter. I mean, and we are the clay. He knows how to put it back together. So don't despair. God has more for your future, and it's not over, okay? It's not over. Let us know how today's talk has touched your life. Maybe you know someone that's going through this. I just pray that you would allow the Lord to use you to be a space to say, hey, you know, come stay here, or let us help you, or let's find you help, or be, you know, reach out if you see something or you sense something's going on with someone you love. We'd love for you to leave us a comment on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or YouTube. And I pray that you've been encouraged today. Mostly I prayed that if you don't know Jesus, that you'll invite him in to your heart and your life today and just say, Jesus, come into my heart today. Forgive me, cleanse me, wash me, be Lord of my life. And I thank you for that. In Jesus' name, amen. Well, we love you today. Hope you've been encouraged. Thank you, Dorothy. You can come back over here now. See you next time. Bye-bye for today.